guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Come on in, y'all. Just come on in, sit down, girl, get yourself comfortable, because we need to talk. So, since the early days of my transition, I've always had people accuse me of being jealous of cisgender women or biological women. It's an arguing point that a lot of TERFs like to use and a lot of DL men like to use. I mean, I remember I had in my one video, this one guy come on and he was all like, "Oh, you trans itches are so jealous of cisgender women. It's pathetic." First of all, jealousy is a normal human emotion that we all go through at different stages of our lives. It's not something that most of us live with throughout our lives, but all of us, whether you're cisgender or transgender, we experience moments where you look at another person who has something and you feel that you are either being deprived of something, you're not getting something, which means the same as being deprived, but you often feel lacking in some area in your life, and you look at another person and they seem to be excelling in that area of life. Look, it's normal. We go through it. If you've had an older sibling or even a younger sibling, you're bound to experience jealousy or moments of jealousy, but that does not mean that you are going to be jealous for the whole duration of your life. For me, I grew up in a very colorist family. So colorism is the belief that having light skin is better than having dark skin. So my mother is lighter than me, and my father was also lighter than me, and so is my brother and my sister. And my mom, as a result, had an issue with the fact that my skin was so dark. And she would often bring it up, and other people would bring it up. I remember one of my mom's friends seeing me after this summer. She was like, "Oh my God, what happened to your child? Like, why is your child so dark?" And I'll never forget, we were standing outside the library, just her reaction, just how repulsed she was. And then upon seeing my sister, "Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Look at how fair her skin is." I'll never forget thinking that the reason that I was being rejected had to do with the fact that my skin was darker than everybody else's in the family. I mean, my sister would even make jokes about it. She'd be like in the mirror, like, let's look and see who has the lightest skin. Which, we were kids. Kids say stuff to each other. But in that moment, I was left feeling like I didn't have something and I needed to have it. I felt that my sister was better for being lighter than me. And I felt that her life was easier, and it was drastically easier. I mean, she was the favorite child, but in my mind, I associated that with her being light-skinned. So, you better believe I did feel some type of way, and that type of way was jealousy, girl. I was trying to think of a word that rhymes with jealousy, but I've experienced it and I've gone through it, but as you grow as a person, you grow in confidence, and the things that you thought you wanted back then, you no longer want. So just because there was a moment or a couple of moments where, girl, you felt some type of way and you were jealous, that doesn't mean that you're jealous of all biological women. Come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And just because, I want us to start being kind to ourselves, because the world that we live in clearly is not kind to us and is not understanding. So I want us, the next time somebody's all like, "Oh, you're just some jealous transgender girl, whatever, your opinion doesn't matter," I want you in that moment, instead of wanting to fight and defend, to just be kind to yourself and be like, that's this person's opinion. Maybe I have demonstrated acts of jealousy that I'm unaware of. But if I have, I own it. And I know that I'm going to grow from it. You know what I mean? There's no point in us hiding in shame and embarrassment. If you had a moment where you had a friend, you had a sister, you had a whatever coworker, where you felt kind of jealous of them in that one moment, girl, don't feel embarrassed. Do not be ashamed. It's normal. When I was in college, I was friends with this girl named Lauren. Almost said her name. Named Lauren. And Lauren obviously was cisgender, and she can identify or relate to a lot of the struggles that I was going through as a trans person. And I remember looking at her and watching how she moved through the world and the ease in which she moved through the world. And when I say the ease, I mean she did not have to deal with some of the things that I was dealing with. You know, she didn't have to fight for her femininity in the same way that transgender women often have to fight for their femininity. She was automatically accepted in, they would be like a male space where it was all guys, and they would just accept her. And they would just be friendly to her, and they would take care of her because she's the girl in the group. But it was like immediate acceptance. Whereas for me, I was seen with distrust. I was often seen with aggression. People thought that if I wanted to sit next to them, it's because I wanted them. It's because of some transgender agenda. So I could definitely see and recognize that we were not being treated the same. Now, especially back then, because this was somebody that I was close to, I didn't want those feelings to impact or influence our relationship. So I never brought it up because it was something that I felt that I needed to work on myself. And there was also shame. You know, you don't want to be embarrassed of your friend. But the thing is, so I can't believe I'm telling this story, but when it was her birthday this one time, there were these German exchange students that we met. We ended up going to a party with all of these German exchange students and American exchange students. And there was this one guy, we're going to call him Oscar. Girl, Oscar was fine with his bald-headed self. I remember when me and Lauren first met him, he was like chatting us up. He was just so much fun. Cool, whatever. And he's like, okay, cool, Lauren, it's your birthday. You're coming out with us. We're going to have so much fun. Now, even though I had a crush on Oscar and I really, really liked him, I knew he wouldn't go for me. And he didn't. He went for my friend, Lauren. And yeah, you know, in those moments when there's somebody that you like and they want your friend, you are left feeling some type of way. But I wasn't about to let that influence the relationship that I had. And you know what else I wasn't going to do? I wasn't going to let it stop me from having fun. When I saw the two of them getting it on, kissing, doing their thing, girl, I just went out and I just had my own fun. It was actually crazy because I was being Lauren's wing woman, and I was like trying to direct all these guys and send all these guys in her direction. And even though I felt, you know, like she got so much attention already, I looked at it as a fun way to get to talk to people, which I did. Girl, I had stupid confidence in college, a friend. But the point that I'm trying to make is that even though I had feelings of jealousy, even though I looked at my friends and I looked at my family members and I looked at other people from time to time with these eyes of envy, being like, oh, I wish I could have that, or oh, I wish that were my life, I never let those feelings stop me from living my life. I never let those feelings stop me from trying to be the best that I possibly could be. Because I understand and I recognize that this life is very short. And you can either choose to remain in a state of misery and anger and depression and let those feelings fester inside of you and eventually end you. Or you can recognize that, hey, I'm having this feeling, I'm feeling a little bit icky, or I'm feeling a little bit jealous, or I'm feeling a little bit bad. I'm going to be kind to myself in this moment. I'm going to encourage myself in this moment. And I'm going to reassure myself in this moment. Because believe me, that's the only way you're ever going to get over feelings of jealousy. That's the only way feelings of jealousy are not going to consume your life. I'm not saying don't feel how you feel. Look, I personally believe like you should feel all of your feelings, and jealousy is one of those emotions that we just go through. But it doesn't mean that we're jealous of every single person that walks the face of the planet. Come on, that doesn't make sense. Nobody's that petty. Well, I hope nobody's that, like, petty and, like, emotionally mature. I really hope not. So I just want to make this video and just tell you how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are, wherever you are in transition. And yeah, you know, we can look at magazines and we can watch videos and see girls like Sweetie and all these other like Instagram, IG models and feel some type of way. I want you in that moment to recognize what those feelings are. Take out a pen and a paper, write down how you're feeling. And what I want you to say is, I want you to read it out loud, and I want you to set it on fire. Set it on fire during the full moon, girl. Let those feelings burn. But first, acknowledge them, recognize them, say them out loud, and then burn them. Send them back to hell where they belong, girl. And you continue on being fabulous. Friend, I love you. I'm going to end this video. Because now I want to talk about other things. But anyways, and I kept it short. I'm so proud of myself. Anyways, if you like the video, please smash that like button. Just do a baby tap. Just a comment. Yeah. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Alright, love you so much. Bye.